you should twerk. On the wall.
I can't twerk on the wall.
Remember you could.
Welcome back to Flamingly Unfiltered. My name is Zachary.
And I'm Thomas.
This is our podcast where we explore the intersection of the internet and gay culture.
Tackle Reddit's wild stories.
And whatever else the fuck we want.
Because not only are we flaming,
we're unfiltered.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
And Happy New Year! Just kidding.
Have
well, actually,
yourself a merry little Christmas.
this Christmas. Where are my backup singers?
This Christmas, where my background singers? Woo!
Let your heart be gay. I think that's how it goes. Make Christmas gay.
What are you wishing for this Christmas year, Zachary?
Peace on earth and all goodwill towards men.
All goodwill towards homosexuals such as ourselves.
Yep. I have several things I've sent you on the TikTok and Instagram for my Christmas wish list.
I already got you your Christmas presents and we open them, remember?
But there's none of those were on my list.
Oh.
So
We decorated.
yep, we decorated.
You can't even see this one present, but when I got in here to set up the podcast, all of this was rent asunder. I'm sure because of Alice.
Yeah, Alice probably did
everything. The whole shebang.
She hates Christmas.
I'm like, what the hell? Anyways, I just thought that was funny. I was like, fuck Christmas.
Right.
And we had like set all of this up and we're like, you know, put it like, what is it? You know, gonna sit and fit and look. And
what
then it was just all tipped over.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
This episode will come out on Christmas Day.
Yes.
It's the decorations if you celebrate Christmas.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Because we forgot to wish Happy Hanukkah.
I know. I was going to comment on that.
And Kwanzaa's over too, right?
Nope, that starts tomorrow.
That starts tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. So Happy Holigays.
Holidays. All the gay holidays.
All the holidays.
Yeah. I know.
Not just Christmas.
I thought about that after the last episode too. I was like, we didn't even say Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Like complete dicks.
I know. We're, you know, just so American and so white.
Right.
Everything's about us.
Right. We're just
That's
like,
why we made this podcast.
everything's fine except Hanukkah. That's our thoughts.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
There's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. I was going to look all of this up and I completely forgot.
Doesn't Chinese New Year start soon?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
Again,
that's why I'm asking you.
White.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We had one comment.
Ooh, we haven't had a comment in a hot minute.
And this was on, what was the one that just came out? Bouncing Booty Cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
This comment was on the one before that. Black Hummingbird 812. And I think this is Sarah. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Black Hummingbird 812. Probably the most hilarious episode you've done yet. I couldn't stop laughing.
I bet that was Sarah because she did.
Yeah.
She did text me and she's like, I can't stop laughing at the fingering the floppy disk because I was like this. And then I noticed you zoomed in on it. I didn't like pay attention when we watched it again. Loved fingering the floppy hole.
I don't even remember.
All of our episodes just blend together.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for the comment. It really means everything.
Yes.
We still only have 17 subscribers, so y'all better get out there.
Just tell people. Just be like, if the lady's like at the cash register is like, that's $5.99, you'd be like, have you heard of Flamingly Unfiltered? And the lady's like, give me my $5.99. So just do it. Or just like slip a note to the bank teller maybe and just be like, have you heard of Flamingly Unfiltered?
This is Ella Enchanted and you are Ella and I command you to subscribe and tell one other person. We are going to be taking off next week.
Oh yeah.
Not only for the holidays, obviously, but then also we kind of want to like hone in on our intro.
Funny.
I just have like news updates. Did you see the speech? In one of the episodes, I'm like, I normally don't do this, where I'm like, you have to see this TikTok. I actually do that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm realizing.
Yep.
So bear with me. It's Macaulay Culkin giving his speech to Brenda Song, who I didn't know was his wife. And it's on ET Entertainment Tonight, and it's like a speech, I'm sure in reference to like Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's this season or whatever, and I think it's like coming back up or something. Or is there a new Home Alone coming out?
No, it's just like it's a Christmas movie because
so
that's the whole point is that
it's getting its resurgence.
They go to Paris or something. And, yeah.
So this
First, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming. There's so many people that I love, and to feel that love back is just amazing. So thank you. Thanks for all your kind words and your stories and stuff. You made my kids' dad, their papa, look good. The most important thing to me is also that their papa, he wasn't always his papa. He also used to be a kid too, you know? I'd like to thank Brenda. You are absolutely everything. You're my champion. You're the only person happier for me today than I am. You're not only the best woman I've ever known, you're the best person I've ever known. You've given me all my purpose. You've given me family, you know, and after the birth of our 2 boys, you become one of my 3 favorite people. You're somewhere in there. I love you. I love you so much. To wrap things up, and in the spirit of the holiday season, I just want to say Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
That's all. Oh, that's also why I wanted to, because he says Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, which is such an iconic moment in cinematic history, Christmas history, I feel like Mariah Osama bin Laden. Okay, I wanted to clear some things up.
Oh no.
Osama bin Laden, Jamie Spears, Donald Trump. I meant to say that last episode, but I didn't even get it out. It was so funny.
It's so ridiculous.
And then did you see Tim Walz's speech?
About Republicans being weirdos? Weird. Yeah, they're fucking weirdos, man.
Here.
You said, basically, there's no such thing as a generic Republican. These guys are weird. Once they start running, their weirdness shows up. What did you mean? Weird
I'll stand by that. Well, look, just the strange things they become obsessed with, demonizing our children, becoming obsessed with people's personal lives in their bedrooms, restricting freedoms. I'm surrounded by states who are spending their time figuring out how to ban Charlotte's Web in their schools while we're banishing hunger from ours with free breakfast and lunch. That's what the public's looking for. That's what they're trying to get to. And they will weirdly obsess with everything to be mean and cruel and small in their ideas. And I didn't hear anything last night that did anything different to that. So I'll stand by that. I just think Americans know this is just weird stuff to be focused on. And many of the times it's just projection. We hear these stories every time. They want to project morality to us. And I say, as your elected leaders, you don't need to hear a sermon from us, but you expect us to try and live one. And I think whether it's making sure the middle class has what they need, protecting reproductive rights, truly addressing climate change, governors are doing that across the country. They're popular with that. And I think we understand we'll be able to do that because of Joe Biden's policies, whether it's the Infrastructure Act, CHIPS Act, bringing manufacturing back to America. Those are things people want to hear about, not demonizing some child because of who they are. At the end of the day, Americans are better than that.
Amen.
Amen. The last bill they passed that they're going to pass for 2023 is putting whole milk back in schools. This is what my tax money is going to. This is what we're paying for. It's fucking whole milk. Like how fucking and then they're like, cool, this sounds like an amazing plan. And it's like, is your brain the size of a peanut? That's what you're fucking worried about? They're like, let's spend billions of dollars on one bomb to bomb a country that we don't even talk to or deal with. And then they're like, but we can't have boys peeing in girls' bathrooms or something like that. Like murder the trannies. And it's like this is what you're using your platform and your power for, is to fucking dick around with whole milk instead of, like he said, like free breakfast and lunch for children, or, you know, like trans rights and stuff like that. Like Minnesota has become a trans mecca. So it's like, that's cool, that's great, that's the route we should take. But instead these weirdo Republicans are like,
it's all like, it's just like showboating and
like you said, let's ban Charlotte's Web. It's like, oh my god, like that's what you're worried about?
Charlotte's Web, I can't believe it. It's like not everywhere is like that. At least Minnesota's. I mean, the comments on this post, I never really know like what to believe and who to believe. Like obviously that's a really like nice speech, and I know that, you know, there has been action taking place under Walz's, what would you call it, jurisdiction, whatever,
reign of power.
But like, I don't know what he does either, you know?
Yeah, I know he does a lot of stuff. And then I see those posters around town where they're like, Waltz failed. And it's like, how?
Yeah.
How did he fail?
There's always like two sides of the coin. And I'm like,
but it's like,
what's going on here?
But then it's like, of course you think he's a worthless failure if you're homophobic, if you hate black people, if you hate gay people. So of course then he's a failure. But then it's like, if you actually use your brain and think about it, and he's like, free lunches for children. How did he fail? Educate me how he failed. Give me statistics.
Okay. Another TikTok. Only to showcase that, like, I think queer people are so cool. And this is my last TikTok of the day, okay? Have you seen this?
Oh, yes, I did. And he's like, make it more cunt.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
Yes. Let's go.
Shake it up. I wanna see you break it up and wake it up and easy bake it up and shake it up. I really wanna get
He like hits it. He's
I don't really know.
I don't really know. I just think it's so funny. The queer people are so funny.
I need
He just delivered such a funny, like, good Vogue beat. And she's like, I don't know.
But it does get better. It does get better.
Yeah. She didn't care. She said, I want to be a femme queen. She was a little veggie set. She was a little too hard to forget. She spoke so soft and dramatic. She was an ex-princess Capulet. And she said, I want to be the it girl now. She
And then it's like, how does, again, people's brains are so fascinating.
well, that's improv, like, not improv. Well, yeah, improv, but freestyle rapping too.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'm like, I don't know
how does your brain think like this? I'm just like one step in front of the other. Like when I'm making a peanut butter sandwich, I'm like, pull out the bread, peanut butter the bread, jelly the bread, and these people are like 4 steps ahead of their own song. And
but then did you hear about the Senate staffer that makes porn?
That was my that was gonna be my transition from politics into.
Okay, but did you see that Twitter gay found who he was?
Yeah.
You figured it out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's so funny.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's your gay of the day.
That was my that was gonna be my transition.
I got this whole like presentation.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, I doubt you have not heard, but there was
right, it's everywhere.
There was a little mini gay leak of oh no.
You didn't.
Oh,
this is what I'm talking about. They found the person and he made a profile on Twitter.
Oh, I saw the bottom. So there's a video going around of these 2 dudes having sex in the Senate office, and I found the bottom, and I found the top.
Oh, look!
Oh my god! Look at that!
like a puzzle piece.
A gay puzzle piece. But yeah, I saw somebody post and they're like, I found the unedited clip, and so I was like, this will be my research for the pod.
You're always taking it to a horny level.
Sorry. It was done on purpose to spread around to the other gay politicians. Like they're distributing porn in office.
Yeah, his name is Ben Cardin, I guess. No longer employed, was fired.
I mean, get it.
Kind of like funny.
I think it's funny. I don't think he should be fired. Grow up. Just having the sex. It just happened to be in the office.
I think having sex in your workplace, distributing said porn is grounds for firing. I think that's fine.
Wow. Do you think they were sanitizing the shit out of that building though?
They probably just burned it. Burn it down.
They just burn everywhere that gay people have had sex. The world is on fire in 3 minutes.
Okay, I have one more TikTok, but you can't say you've already seen it.
Oh, okay.
So you have to pretend like, oh my god, I've never seen this before.
How do they make that costume? They do a lot of TikToks. I think I know.
What about yeah?
They do a lot of costume. I mean, TikToks. They do a lot of TikToks. Yes.
Something grew 3 sizes that day, and it wasn't his heart. Okay, but yes, now hit the heart.
Heart. Yesified Ron Weasley. That one.
Cunty Ron.
Cunty Ron. These are less cunty than Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Again with the cotton candy broom. I like that.
That was my yassified.
Yassified.
It's the same creator that does them all.
Right.
I think that's funny. I think I'm ready for the gay of the day.
Gay.
These are a few of our Gavorite Things. You can go first. Or should I go first?
You go first.
Or should we say it at the same time because we think we have the same one?
I know ours is different, but...
You know ours is different? Why?
Because I had one and then I switched it. I had an idea of it, so I was going to... So, you go first.
Okay, my gay of the day is that The Matrix.
Yep.
Is that what you were going to do?
That's what I was going to do.
Why did you switch it?
Because I like my new idea better.
Well,
do you want to go over? We can talk about it.
Anyways, The Matrix is a trans metaphor.
Yes, I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. And Keanu Reeves didn't know until like years later. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
If anybody hasn't seen it, that's crazy. You should go watch it because it is good. But it's basically this movie. It's a trilogy. There's 3, right? The movie is based on this like idea that we're all in a simulation and we're all like, this world is just this like computer world where I can't believe I'm explaining The Matrix, like nobody has seen it, but
well, I feel like, if you don't like it, it's so old that if you didn't like it back then, you're probably not gonna watch it.
But basically this world is a computer world, and we're really in this, it's like post-apocalyptic where the world was destroyed by machines and we're all living in this simulation and we're being like farmed or whatever in the real world, but we're just like sitting in an egg sack while our simulation is running for us. And in the movie, like the main characters are like fighting this simulation. They broke out and they're fighting the bad machines or whatever. But the metaphor is that the like trans experience is, living one life that's not yours, essentially. And then breaking out of that is like coming out as trans or whatever, living your true self. And transphobia are the men in, like the agents or whatever, that's transphobia. Coming to take down, trans and stuff like that and kill people who are like woken up to the actual reality. And I thought I had more. I just have this TikTok. I thought I had like this article that kind of spoke more about it, but I have this TikTok that I'm gonna play.
Did you know that The Matrix was actually written by the then Wachowski brothers, who are now Wachowski sisters?
Yes.
And The Matrix was actually about the trans existence. It was a metaphor for the trans existence. Of course, they couldn't really talk about that back then, both with themselves and with the film. In fact, Keanu didn't even know that and found out many years later in a press release that that's actually what the film was about.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
And they were trans themselves and now have transitioned into women.
The Wachowski brothers transitioned to the Wachowski sisters in 2012. So that's a long time to hang on to that piece of information. One of the sisters, Lana, was born June 21st.
Wow.
Interesting. That's my birthday.
For those that
don't know and want to buy me gifts, June 21st. Yes, that was my gay of the day. I was going to go through that as well. And I knew that's what it, because we both said it at the same time.
So, and like our TikTok algorithm is like in tune with each other.
Right.
So obviously.
Right. We should stop hanging out so we can get different material.
No, I thought it would have been funny, but then you went and changed it to something better.
To something better. I'm better than you. I assume that's what it was because I was just like laying in. We just woke up and I was just scrolling TikTok and I was like, oh, I found my gay of the day. And then like an hour later, Thomas was like, I also found my gay of the day. Something. It was a short amount of time. Yeah. And so I was like, well, it's probably the same thing because we're all like the same person.
For sure.
On the same algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's also why I wanted to change mine because.
You don't want to match me?
Should we redo it?
No, but what's your gay of the day then?
Okay, so my gay of the day, I thought this was interesting. I was trying to think of, because Halloween is gay Christmas. You know, like people say that like gays love Halloween because it's, you know, you can dress up and be yourself and act a fool
Wear
and
makeup
and or like dress and drag, and people will be like, cool costume, and you're like, no, I actually would want to be this way all the time.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. But I was like, how is Christmas, the actual Christmas, gay? And so I did a little research.
That's so funny. I like last night I was Googling like gay Christmas, gay, like I was trying to find a tie-in for this Christmas episode, but I was like, I already have a bunch of shit, it's fine.
I was trying to and I was looking up, and I was just like, because I don't know, I just feel like there's always something queer. There's always something gay in everything. I feel like gays run the show, they rule the world.
For real.
If gays don't say it's cool, it's not cool.
I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops.
Well, The Matrix is a good example. Like,
yeah,
you didn't know that was a queer story, did you?
I feel like if people knew that it was gay, like if they made it now and people knew it was kind of a gay movie, I wonder if it would, you know, blow up in the gay scene. Because like I said, like if the gays think you're cool, you're made. You know, that's like
right.
Like Madonna. You know, like Madonna was like, oh, I love the gays, and I think that's why she blew up. Lady Gaga, you know, she's like, oh, I love the gay people, and everyone's like, oh, she loves the gays.
I think what helps is not being like closed-minded.
Well, yeah, I know, but I just think gays rule the world.
True.
So I was like, how can we make Christmas gay? Make Christmas gay again. Christmas was originally a pagan holiday called Yule, so like the Yule log. It was celebrated on the winter solstice, which takes place on the shortest day and the longest night of the year. The Christians didn't like the, you know, more magical and mystical side of things. They didn't like parties of like drinking and dancing, and typically they would give offerings or sacrifice animals to their gods, like multiple gods. And so that's also why Christians don't like that. Like, that's not good. It's also believed that the Christians decided to switch up Jesus's birthday because he was born in spring. Because like part of the story is the shepherds were out dealing with their flock, and the shepherds wouldn't be dealing with their flock in winter. You know, like they would like take, you know, they wouldn't be like herding them, you know, out in the pasture because they'd be in their barns. So it's rumored that they switched up Jesus's actual birthday to Christmas Day to kind of take away from the pagan rituals, like pay attention to Jesus's birthday over here instead of your witchcraft. Yeah, so they wanted to draw attention away from the winter solstice parties, and one of the parties that they really, really did not like was called, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, Saturnalia.
Saturnalia.
And it was honoring Saturn. This was one of the bigger, most elaborate parties of the winter solstice festivals, because they had multiple. They started it out as a one-day event, and then people liked it so much that, and then there was just like, people are just throwing so many ideas into it, so they're like, well, let's make it a few days, and then they're like, let's just make it a week, because like we have so much we want to do, and like it just is another excuse to party, basically. Most of the parties were thrown by the rich, which like makes sense, you know, like whoever has the money can throw the parties, but it was for everybody. Like they made a point of involving everybody, so it wasn't just like the rich having parties for the rich people. It was the rich people threw the party for everyone, from servants, like old people, young people. Everybody was involved because everybody was like, let's get together and celebrate, you know, the winter solstice. And it, you know, it kind of lifted the veil between like the rich and the poor and stuff like that, just to like, again, make sure everybody was involved and had a good time. A lot of the things they did were like, there was tons of food, tons of drinking, whatever the drugs were at the time. I don't know what the drugs were, but
frankincense and myrrh.
Frankincense and myrrh. They're like, we're gonna do some, I don't know, pagan crack. Gambling, and there were drag performances, lots of drag performances, nude choruses, and lots of gay sex. Lots of gay sex, all the gay stuff. You know, it's just like now, or like not now, but like way back when gay relationships were kind of like not really taboo. Like, I don't know, they were just like not talked about. But during this party, like all bets were off. It was expected that you get drunk and participate in all the orgies. So lots of orgies as well. The party was for everybody, you know, like if gay, straight, bisexual, like whatever, doesn't matter. As long as you were participating in the drinking and the sex, like that was the whole point, is to just like have a debaucherous time. So that was the whole
freaky.
Freaky whole. That was the whole point. And a lot of people talked about fetishizing, like, I'm poor and I think, this rich guy is really hot. Plus, I know he has money. I want to have sex with the rich guy. And then vice versa. Like, if the rich guy was ever eyeing the, hot servant boy, what they'd try to do is indulge in those types of fantasies and fetishes and stuff like that too. It kind of gave a whole new meaning of eat, drink, and be merry. So, be gay. So yeah, lots of gay sex for Christmas. I think that sounds fun. Or orgies for Christmas.
orgies for Christmas.
I think we should bring it back. Just throwing it out there. But I also learned.
Getting hot in here.
I also learned that on the more PG side of things, this is also where caroling came about, wreath making and gift giving, and they would also cancel school and work.
Cool.
So yep,
it was always on the 25th.
It was around the winter solstice. So
right.
It was typically like we know now, like the winter solstice is December 21st, but it would just be like around that time to like make it work for everybody's schedules. And Christmas used to be real gay.
Yeah, what it like evolves into. It does make me like wish I had the power of time travel just to like see,
just to go. Yeah, like was it? They just like were like, let's rent out the gym and everyone's the local gymnasium and have a big orgy there, or was it just like
were there orgies in this house?
Yeah, exactly. It would just be fun to go and just see like the parties and see how crazy it got. And but then it's like I said, like Christianity took over and they're like, let's maybe not have orgies and let's make wreaths instead. And it's like, I guess why can't we do both? Like, let's do naked wreath making.
It's funny because Christianity, like, there's still weird sex things going on.
Right.
But it's all in secret and private.
Right, exactly.
They took over and...
They're probably the freakiest ones.
Yeah.
They still do all these things, but they're like, gross, we shouldn't do those. And then they, like, pull out their whip.
Do you want to go into Reddit stories?
Sure. Reddit stories.
Reddit stories. Like Okay, my first one is straight people. What's your gayest experience?
Ooh.
And I wanted to go through some of the comments because it just seemed like fun. I don't know. And this was on Ask Reddit. Went to a gay club with my gay roommate. I was dancing and this bear started grinding on my butt and I didn't immediately pull away.
Ooh.
I was with a friend one night and had a few friends over, including some girls. My friend is shy and there was a girl there into him and I got the sense he was into her. At one point there was a conversation about how long we've all known each other. We reveal we've known each other since kindergarten, high school juniors at this point. She was like, well, you're not this close. And she put her hand on his thigh. I responded by putting my hand on his leg, on his thigh, and giving it a little massage. She then moves her hand up his leg. I sit on his lap and put my arm on his shoulder. She pushes me off and sits on his lap and gets even closer. What was a joke I now see as an opportunity for my friend. I grab my friend by the face and say to him, you'll thank me for this. And I give him a kiss. She pulls him away and full on makes out with him. I kissed a dude, but God knows it was 100% worth it, and he agrees 100%. Still friends with him, and we still laugh about that. He didn't marry her, but it was a good night for him, if you know what I mean.
That's so funny.
I spent 20 years in the army. I don't even know where to start.
Oh, my.
Tell
everything. Read
please. This showed me that I'm as clueless with men as women. I was sitting at the bar at a restaurant waiting for food, sipping a bourbon. It was not busy. Some guy sits next to me. He's like 15 years older than me, wearing scrubs. He says he just got off work and needed a drink, that there are free seats everywhere, but these did have the best view of the TV, so whatever. He asks me what I'm drinking. I tell him. He orders 2, gives me 1. I'm like, sweet. He starts talking about his car. I used to sell cars, I tell him. He keeps trying to get me to go with him to look at cars for professional advice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm waiting for my food. He finishes his drink. My food comes. He's like, well, at least you got a free drink. Pays, then leaves. I'm paying for my food, then it dawns on me. I think he was into me. That's kind of a boring story. Boo, you got hit on.
Why didn't you roll with it?
Right.
I think of the first time I kissed a dude it was at school, and everybody like freaked out. I forget what we did. Oh yeah, he had a piece of gum in his mouth, and he's like, "Do you want some of this?" And I was like, "Sure." And he just like held it in his teeth, and then we pecked each other, and we were in the middle of the lunchroom. That was like real gay.
Wow.
And everybody gasped and was talking about us.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah. Little anecdote. Am I the asshole for telling my friend to mind her own business? I, 19, live with my friend Will. We've known each other since birth because our parents are close friends. Will is Jewish, and he wasn't able to get home for Hanukkah, which has made him feel depressed. He initially wanted to do nothing and to celebrate and just sulk, and I bought a menorah, and we've been lighting the candles every night. He isn't religious, but it's been fun learning about his traditions, which I think is cool that this person wants to learn.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Yesterday, I did not have work, so I decided to try to make some traditional Jewish food for him since he baked me a cake for my birthday a few months ago. I love cooking, but I'm hazardous in the kitchen, so I had to start early, and I managed to make some brisket, latkes, and some mishapen, or challah bread. We should make latkes. They're delicious.
I don't even know what that is.
They're so good. When Will got home, he posted the food on his Snap story, and I appeared in some of his shots. One of our mutual friends, Nadine, then messaged me and called me out for cosplaying Jewish culture. I can only describe her as the woke police, and most of us have learned to ignore her white guilt and saviorism. Oh, wow. But this pissed me off, so I decided to engage. I told her that I was trying to do something nice for my friend, who was sad because he couldn't celebrate his family, and he appreciated my efforts. She told me that the food wasn't a big deal, but me wearing the blue shirt, that was blatant appropriation, and I shouldn't have done it.
Was this a white person? Like not non-Jewish?
Correct, yeah. Calling out the other non-Jewish friend for Jewish appropriation.
I just think as a non-Jewish person, maybe just
but like,
don't be the police.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's like, I'm trying to do something cool for my friend, and I'm learning in the process. Like, yeah. I think that's really nice. Mm-hmm. He could have been an asshole and been like, I
mean, I think if the Jewish friend is appreciative, I think that's what matters.
I think that would be so cool if somebody did that.
Yeah.
It's just like so nice. Like, they're trying to keep engage in my traditions, even though I'm not really religious, but it is still like probably a happy memory about making food and lighting the menorah with his family, like, because he can't be there. I would try to make my friend happy, I guess. And I don't know what this blue shirt comment is.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know
either.
what the let me backtrack. Like, maybe I missed a sentence.
It would be one thing if you like put on a fake nose and like
like all the awful tradition stereotypes,
curly wig or something, like that would be
put on a yarmulke and been like.
I think when it comes to like mocking, that's when it's bad. You know
right?
What I mean?
Exactly. That's when it's bad. But like lighting the menorah and making your friend food, that's great.
And I think like we as a society went from blatant mocking, like blackface and wearing, like as a Halloween costume, wearing like Native American like headdresses,
or like the
stuff that are like sacred,
like Rasta.
Yeah, and that are like sacred and like going like whoa, like that's like mocking, like blatant mocking. That's bad. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And when something is sacred, like the headdress and stuff like that,
right?
That's mocking.
There's a picture of me when I was little. My mom would participate or put us in the parades, the summer parades, and there's a picture of me dressed as a Native American. I'm like, oh, now I can never go into politics because I'll get canceled. And I'm like, oh,
you're 5.
I think I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I also put on a blue shirt that's similar to all the blue that a lot of the Hanukkah decorations are, so I put that on. So that's what they were talking about with the blue shirt comment. I missed a sentence, my bad. Oh yeah, she told me the food wasn't a big deal, but me wearing the blue shirt was blatant appropriation and I shouldn't have done it. This was obviously completely ridiculous, and I told her to mind her own business and leave me the hell alone. She's now shared the conversation with other friends and even posted it to her Instagram activist account, saying that her business is to call out people like me who are being harmful. She's demanded that I apologize and acknowledge my ignorance in order for her to take them down. Other friends agree that she's being ridiculous, but that I was wrong to be rude to her because we know how she is and she has good intentions. Another friend even said that I was being an asshole for getting rude to her and refusing to apologize. Will doesn't think I'm wrong, and this whole situation has me really confused.
Yeah, because, okay, so the other person, that's their job.
Yeah, Nadine said that it's their job to call out people who are being...
And Nadine is like...
just a side friend.
But they're like white and
yeah,
they don't have any...
Correct.
Like they're not Jewish, right?
Yep, correct.
That's not your job.
That's not your job.
I'm sorry, but like that's embarrassing.
And I completely agree of calling people out. Like I'll call out my family for being racist.
Right, yeah,
like that's
absolutely.
That's important. I'll call out people. Like if I saw some white girl wearing a headdress, I'd be like, what is your problem? Like you cannot do that. Like that's so fucking shitty. But if some white girl came to a Native American's house and was like, I'm gonna chef up some traditional Native American food to learn and to make my friend feel better, I'd be like, that is so cool. Like that's such a cool, clever thing.
That's more thoughtful because it's there's like an act of service there, and then also like memorabilia kind of food is anyways.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good memory.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think that's weird as I don't know, as a fellow white person. You know, I don't think it's our duty to like be anti-racist and like, you know, push it against the grain of that stuff. But I think that there's like this line of like, if your actions aren't servicing, like who are you trying to service? Yourself?
Yeah.
Are you trying to make yourself feel better by like calling out these people? Then that's where it gets weird.
Yeah. You know, and kind of going back to our episode when we were talking about Two Spirits, I think there's a difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation.
Right, for
you
sure.
know, like I appreciate Black art. I appreciate Native American art. Like we have it all over the house because I think it's so pretty, but I'm not going, I did that. I painted that. I drew this, or like I sewed this dashiki, you know, whatever the story is. I'm not saying I did it. I claimed it. It's me. If I were to make African American food for Kwanzaa tomorrow, great. Like that's cool. You know, like that's awesome. I think that would be nice. And then like the comment about wearing the blue shirt, it's like, it's a blue shirt. Like he was thinking he was.
I don't get the blue shirt. Like, is that
it's like, you know, like all the traditional Hanukkah decorations have this are blue.
It's like blue. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's also like, I think that's an extra step in the thought process. Like he's going, I'm going to wear a blue shirt too, because it's the traditional Jewish color. Like, let's make it a little Jewish event, you know? I think that's fun, and that's really nice that he did that for his friend.
I think wearing like stuff like that is fine, as long as, again, you're not like mocking and you're not making fun.
Yep. That's like the episode of,
in my white professional opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then I think it's more appropriate too, like if we went to like a traditional Indian wedding and we wore, you know, like what we would wear to an American wedding, we'd probably stick out. So I think if we went to a traditional Indian wedding and we weren't wearing the traditional garb, you know, I think it's more of an appreciation and fitting in situation. Like you're paying homage. You're trying to learn how we dress and how we act and how we eat and stuff like that. I think that's kind of cool and more appropriate. But yeah, like
I think we as a society have taken it too far.
Yeah.
In some cases have taken it too far where we're like, policing people.
Yeah.
And not listening to the oppressed people.
Yeah.
We're just thinking.
Well, I think
overthinking it.
It's
kind of.
I think there's a difference between being woke, which I hate that term. It's so stupid, because I think being woke is just using your brain, you know, intelligent, you know, that.
Yeah. The term being woke came from like mocking people who are like thoughtful. Right. Exactly.
Like,
you're woke.
You're woke because
you're just thoughtful.
You're woke because you like gay rights. You're woke because you like BIPOC rights. Like that's not being.
No, I'm just thoughtful.
That's not being woke. That's common sense.
Yeah.
But I do think there's the overly woke people where they police people's actions like this. You know, like I think being anti-racist is important. I think being like homophobic is important. because you should be calling out idiots like that. Like if somebody is saying fag or calling you the N-word, you know, like whatever, I'm going to fucking call you out. And that's also not being woke. That's just being appropriate and common sense that you're telling these people you can't do those types of things. Yeah. But I think this situation is a little different because she's saying you're a piece of shit because you made latkes. Like, how dumb.
Yeah, that is super stupid.
Super dumb. Super. It's just like the white fragility of it all. White savior complex.
Well, and that's, you know, why I had said if it's no longer servicing the oppressed people, like you're only doing it for yourself to make yourself feel better, like that's where it becomes weird and icky.
Yep, exactly.
Like, oh, I want to get the credit for saving somebody,
yeah,
or like protecting somebody.
It's like when the influencers record themselves giving homeless people money, like gross. So true. Like, you're so disgusting that you just like are recording because they're like, oh, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Here's $20.
Yeah.
Here's $50.
Everybody be happy that I did that.
I'm gonna pay for your groceries.
Look at me,
and
I'm such a good person.
And they're like 10 million views, and then are they the stupid people, or are this like more stupider people the ones who are like, you're so awesome, you're so brave, like you're just
well,
like,
that's the trap.
Yeah, you're so
that's
stupid.
the income trap. Like they're trying to make a buck, and
and it's like
winning.
But yeah, exactly. They're like, I'm gonna pay for your $500 worth of groceries because I'm gonna get
$5,000 in return for that video.
I was just gonna say they're gonna get $5,000 or more from Instagram. So like that's pocket change to them
for sure.
I hate those types of people.
I hate those setup videos.
Yeah.
And in all actuality, everything on TikTok, social media, it's all cringe.
Yeah.
Like, but it gets really like nastier when you're like, oh, look at me, I'm feeding, like there's that one account that feeds the poor.
What's his name? Mr. Beast?
No.
He does a lot of shit like that too.
Well, yeah, Mr. Beast is another thing too. Because he has that like video where he like cured blind.
Yeah, he's like a billionaire and he's like,
but I mean,
here's $1,000 towards your surgery. It's like,
so like
that's pennies to you.
Right. There is that line of like, yes, I know this is for views, but also he did cure 5,000 people of blindness. So like, is that a net positive? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he wouldn't do it if he didn't get any money out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's making so much money off of that video.
That's what I'm saying. Like
still,
he can spend $1 million per person because he's going to be getting paid $4 million per person because of all the views and shit.
The morality of it all is pretty icky, but
yeah,
net positive maybe like 1% net positive.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually did help 5,000 people.
1 karma point.
But our timer went off, so
perfect.
Yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom, so.
And my ass is falling asleep because, as you can see, I am stuck in this position.
Yeah.
I'm so uncomfortable, but thank you so much for listening again.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Anywhere
if you celebrate, if you don't,
happy
ignore
holidays.
all of this.
This is not Christmas.
This is an illusion.
Yeah, we celebrate Christmas because we're American.
Traditions.
Yeah. But
yeah, whatever you celebrate, happy that.
Happy that. And
maybe if you feel the desire, you could bring back the Christmas orgy.
Yes.
The Yule orgies.
Yeah, anyway, I think, you know what? Maybe that's what that one guy in the Senate House is trying to get too.
Good point.
He's like, let's start with the Senate floor and have sex here, and then it'll get expanded.
It'll catch on. He's starting a trend.
Catching fire.
So smart.
Oh yeah, and we're watching Hunger Games on Tuesday
again.
Woo! I'm so excited. And then after that, we have to rewatch The Boy and the Heron.
Oh yeah, that was also good.
2 good movies. That came out, just so good. But yeah, again, thanks, and
please tell your friends. Please follow, spread the word.
Yeah, that could be your Christmas present to us.
Yes.
If you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. It's free.
And then tell 10 friends, and then tell us you told those 10 friends.
Yeah, and then make sure that your 10 friends not only that you tell them about us, but that they subscribe to.
And tell 10 friends. And so on.
Yeah.
And so on.
And then pretty soon we're
the next.
be touring.
There we go. Let's do it.
I do not want to be touring, so tell 10 friends, get us there, but brand it in. We don't want to be that famous.
I do.
It's like 100 subscribers. That's
I want to be Joe Rogan famous.
like homophobic.
That's awful. Just kidding. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Flamingly Unfiltered.
Now available on Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple.
Receive updates on Instagram.
Start the week off strong with Zach and Thomas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.